Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Frida and today I'm going to show you an in-depth review about the Dyson Airwrap and what I think about the short and the long barrel. And let's start. So first and foremost, I want to say sorry to everyone who has been subscribed for a while because I have been missing from this channel a tiny bit. A lot of things happened and I might talk about them a little bit in a chit chat. Get ready with me. But you know, I was really busy and I just want to get back into making more videos because I do truly enjoy it, and I have a lot of things that I want to share with you because I'm always into trying new products and fashion and different things, and I just really enjoy making that type of content. So hopefully you can forgive me because it was not my intention whatsoever. But okay, let's just start because I'm pretty sure most of you just want to know what I'm going to say. So the Dyson Airwrap that comes in this beautiful box. I have the one that comes with pretty much everything, and I got this before my birthday, actually like a month before my birthday, so in June, because my birthday is in July. And you know, so far I have tried it quite a bit because it has been the only thing that I have been using for a while, and I can say that I'm actually super in love with it. But I can see why people might like it and why some people might not so much. So honestly, I know it's super expensive, but if you're not good at doing your hair and you like volume and you have medium to fine hair, I would say that you should totally give this a try because honestly, it's the best thing that I have tried for my hair. I have fine hair, so although I have a lot of it and I have no problem whatsoever growing my hair, I don't have a problem with the amount of hair that I have. It's really hard for my hair to hold a curl, so I actually have to live with those things in my hair if I ever want to have them last. And with this product I can achieve that look without having to do that. If I try with a flat iron, if I try with a curling barrel, it just doesn't hold the curl whatsoever. The best way for my hair to get that curled, and this has been done with a lot of different professionals, different people doing my hair, it has been when they dry my hair with curls, like with the dryer, and they are doing the curl. But that requires a lot of technique that, although I have tried a lot, I'm not good at. I'm not good at doing hair. So for a long time I was looking at this product and I heard a lot of people saying that it was too difficult to use. I heard a lot of people complaining that it was not worth the price, but actually it just kept being on my mind. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. They seem to have a really good return policy. So I was like, well, I love my dryer. I love that thing. It's amazing, super powerful. It doesn't damage your hair. So I was like, I'm going to give a try to this. And honestly, I think it's one of the best things that I have ever purchased in my life. If you have medium to somewhat long, I wouldn't say super long hair, the barrels that it comes with will work perfectly fine because it doesn't require a lot of technique, but you just keep moving the hair here, like you just keep moving it, and I would say that it's not that hard. But when you have hair as long as mine, which is almost up to the hips, somewhat long, because I'm a taller person, so that's a lot of hair. I would say that sometimes it just is not the best. Not because you cannot do it's just because it requires you to, you know, be more precise when it comes to making sure your scalp is really well dried, because otherwise it can be hard for you to get that really dried. And other thing is that sometimes I felt like if I was not being really careful, um, the ends will look a lot more, curled than the top of my hair. And as someone who has fine hair, you want quite a bit of volume here, it never looks like I don't have hair because I have a lot of it, thankfully. But I have been really into that 90s look, and that requires a little bit more volume here. So that was a little bit tricky. I wouldn't say hard, but I just saw that they have longer barrels, so I got them. I got you know, the thick ones and the skinny ones. The only difference that I feel these two make is that, of course, the skinny ones will make a tighter curl and the big ones would make a looser curl. As someone who has, as I mentioned before, fine hair that doesn't like to hold things too much, I don't have a lot of texture on my hair at all. My hair is quite straight on his own, even more so with the weight of it. So honestly speaking, I need the really thin one to hold the curl. This one gives a really pretty look, but it gives you more of a blown out look, if you will, like a salon blowout look. The thing is that I have discovered that, if I'm not going to wash my hair every single day, which I normally don't, I would rather do my curls with this one, although it takes a little bit more time. I would rather do my hair with this and have the first day looking like, oh, you curl your hair. The second day it looks like a super good voluminous hair. Like today is second day. Well, here I have some clips where I think you can see a little bit better how my hair actually look like. To be fair, it normally looks quite a bit better than this, but because I just spent way too much time sleeping and watching TV and rolling all over my bed, I just made a mess out of my hair and it got quite tangled. So I had to, detangle it a tiny bit, and I have to brush out my curls. So it normally looks a little bit, well, quite a bit more polished than this. And of course, this is just like it would probably look like by the third day or something like that. I don't think it looks bad whatsoever. It actually looks quite cute, you know? And the third day, it looks like the first day of the thick ones. Do you need this? Not really. I mean, if you buy this online, depending on where you buy them, I think you can get a smaller set and buy the long ones instead of the smaller ones. So you save that money. But honestly speaking, it's up to you. I find that the long barrels, although they're really helpful in making sure you have more space to put your hair, I have such a long hair that still it kind of is a little bit tricky to put all the hair in one, so I still have a little bit of hair at the end of this. And one thing which is my main issue, honestly speaking, is that it's not as powerful. This is so powerful. It just takes your hair like this and it dries super fast. If I use the long barrels, I just take as much time. even if I do it with this. The only difference is that I feel like the ends don't get as much heat because I'm drying, you know, my whole hair. And sometimes with the small one, the, you know, certain parts of your hair get trapped and they overheat, and you don't need to do that, if you know what I mean. Like, but honestly speaking, I think these are pretty amazing. I just feel a little bit sad because, you know, these have so much power and flow, the small barrels, so it really catches the hair super easily. The long ones, because it's not as powerful, and I can only assume it's because, you know, it's the same motor, the same machine, you just are changing the barrel, is that because it's longer, it's more space to distribute that, you know, air, that it doesn't get as hot and it doesn't get as strong of a ventilator, if you know what I mean, like the air that really, the anaconda, whatever it's called, thing that really makes your hair go around this is not as strong. So you have to be more hands-on in putting your hair around this. So that's my main complaint. I wouldn't say that, you know, it's not a 10 out of a 10, if you know what I mean. Maybe if, you know, the second version they come with this Airwrap, I would say that the main issue they have to, you know, check is that if people have long hair like me, it's better for them to have another version that has more power, because they are going to want to use the long barrels, and it's just not nearly as powerful as it feels like with the small barrels. I would say that if you have long hair and you're indecisive if you want to try them, you know, the long barrels, you should first check with the barrels that you like the most. Honestly, I don't feel bad that I bought them because I use them a lot, and somewhat I feel like my hair gets dried more evenly, if you know what I mean, because, you know, you don't have like a patch of, you know, the ends of your hair over drying. You have more space, but still I wish I could have that powerful, you know, ventilator and heatness that I get with the small one. So something to keep in mind if ever, you know, anyone from Dyson here's my review. I wish, you know, we could have maybe another machine who was more powerful for the long barrels, because, you know, of course, if I had short hair, I would think this is perfect because honestly, it's just so good. But when you're a taller person with really long hair, it's not nearly enough. And in comparison to the hair dryer, I did mention that this is good but not nearly as powerful, and if you compare the long barrels to the hair dryer, not at all, even a chance. So something to keep in mind if you have a hair that takes a long time to really dry. I think, you know, what might be the best for you, it really will depend on your personal hair type. And I think it's something that I have been learning a lot lately. So if you have really thick hair with a lot of texture, maybe this might give you more volume that you would like. Maybe, you know, it won't smooth your hair as much as you would like it to, or as a flat iron can do. But something to keep in mind too is that this won't damage your hair nearly as much as that does. And, you know, that's a good thing because pretty hair normally is super healthy. And other thing to keep in mind is that if you have normal to fine hair, you will love this. You'll find that this is probably the best thing you have ever tried, as at least for my personal experience, no one is paying me to say anything of this, you know. So just take it as you will. And honestly, I know it's super expensive, but I think it's worth the price. I think it has changed a lot the way I saw things when it comes to hair, because I used to think that, you know, pretty hair, you know, style hair looks so pretty, but I was not willing to damage my hair that much, because I always thought, you know, style hair looks pretty, but I have seen a lot of girls who literally fry their hair getting the hair done all the time. So I used to be more of like, oh, just let it dry and things like that. But because where I used to go to college, because of the situation of the world right now, I'm not going. I have, you know, online courses and all of that. Where I used to live, it was pretty cold. I had to get a hair dryer, and I just hated it until I bought the Dyson hair dryer, and I realized that, well, you can actually style your hair and don't fry it, and that made me want to buy this, and I got it and I fell in love. So if you are not good at doing your hair, this might be it, you know, because I'm not good. Like, I can dry my hair, but it's super flat, and actually making curls, all the different stuff, is super hard on my hair. I can do that in someone else, like if they have medium thickness hair, if their hair doesn't have a problem holding a curl, no problem whatsoever. It's not that difficult, you know. But my hair is fine, and it's one of those hairs that, this might sound braggy, but I don't mean it in a braggy way, I have quite smooth hair. So it doesn't have the texture to hold things. So quite often I will have to put, you know, products to put texture on my hair. And the thing with them is that, you know, they kind of weigh down your hair too. So it's a little bit of a battle there. And I find that this product gives me the best results ever. So that's my quick review. I'm in love with this. I have been using it non-stop. I no longer use my Dyson dryer nearly as much. As I mentioned before, if you live in a place that really takes a lot of time, just keep that in mind. As I said before, when you want to start drying your hair with this, I would say that at least get rid of 50% of the water. It will depend of your hair texture, because I know if you start more wet, that's better for people with a lot more texture in their hair. But personally, if you have really long hair, I don't know how that will work, because it will take quite a bit. And you know, just check the videos from Dyson. They explain things super well and it's super easy to use. But this was more like my opinion on the product. If you want me to make a demonstration on how I use the product, I don't have a problem whatsoever. It's super easy to use. But yeah, I just wanted to explain that. And I have nothing but, you know, lots of love for this. I just, you know, trying to show you what's the not so good side of them. Like, I think this can be improved. I think totally this can be improved, so we have the same power and it gets as hot as it does with the short barrels. Because honestly speaking, I can see that for someone with, you know, hair that goes up to their bust, the short ones might be just perfect. But if you have longer hair, it's gonna be a little bit more tricky. Not a deal breaker, and for me, who has tried pretty much everything else, and I get what is most important for me, so no heat damage, easy to use, and you know, it holds the curl, and I save so much time doing my hair like this, because, you know, before this I had to dry my hair, and I had to curl my hair, and I have to sleep with the curls. So I had actual curls for the next day, and now I can just dry my hair 40 minutes. That's done, and I have perfectly amazing hair for the next 3 days. So I think for me it's super worth it. And a lot of what is going to work for you is about what your hair texture is like the way your hair behaves, if it has any wave, if it has any texture with it, and how thick it is. And other thing to keep in mind is how important for you the health of your hair is. How often do you want to do your hair? Like, if I was one of those persons who do the hair every blue moon, of course I will think this is super expensive and not worth the price. But because this, you know, was so easy to use and I didn't feel like it damaged my hair at all, I felt like I could use this super frequently, like at least once per week. And you know, like price per word I think is the name, or something like that. I'm sorry, it has been a while since I was chatting this much in a video in English. So yeah, the amount of times that I use this versus the cost is worth it for me. So if you are someone who never does her hair and doesn't want to, maybe no, but I used to be that person, you know. It's not that I didn't like to get ready. I actually spent hours and I enjoy it so much. It's one of my favorite things ever, even if I have nowhere to go. And you know, I'm that kind of person that is always, you know, most of the time dressed up, and I love doing my makeup, and I love, you know, looking really presentable. I truly enjoy fashion, and I'm going to be making videos about it. But doing my hair was always something of a struggle, because not only it would last, I will always feel like I literally fry my hair. But with this, I felt like I could have really beautiful, healthy hair and style hair. So just telling you about that. And yeah, just let me know if you have any, you know, questions. I think there are tons of videos about this product, and I didn't want to be redundant with them. I just wanted to tell you what I felt like, and if you have long fine hair, you totally should give this a try, because this will give you so much volume for your hair. And if you have, you know, medium or thick hair, if you like volume, oh my god, this is going to give you like bombshell, like amazing bombshell hair. Of course, for the ones that have thinner hair like mine, is a little bit more of a struggle, because you know, you guys are used to having tons of volume in your hair by nature. We don't. But yeah, this gives a lot of it, and it really does save a lot of damage from your hair. At least that has been my experience. Of course, the Airwrap comes with different attachments. This is to properly dry your hair, so you don't need to have a different dryer. You can only use this and it will dry your hair. But what I meant is that this is not nearly as powerful as the actual Dyson hair dryer. It's not a bad one though, because mainly what you want to do is get rid of most of the excess of water that you should actually have towel before. But so you don't start super wet. And this should be enough for most people, and unless you live in a really cold climate where it takes a lot of time for your hair to dry, you won't have a problem. I personally could, you know, do my whole hair just with this. It's just that I already have the Dyson dryer, so of course I can use that and save some time. Saying that though, it does comes with this attachment, which is the usual, you know, brush that you will buy for a normal dryer. and it's actually quite good. It's just not my favorite for doing my hair, so I don't like to pull my hair too much. And you know, for people who actually have more texture in their hair, this might be your favorite one, because you know, you can actually go and smooth a lot of your hair. Personally, because I don't have a lot of, you know, texture on my hair, I just find this not to be nearly as good. It's not a bad thing if I buy, you know, because they sell some similar products to just this. I would say that this is one of the best that I have tried, if not the best one. But I'm not good at using this brush, you know. I do have a similar brush, and I have the, you know, a normal dryer, and still I'm not good at using this. Still, it's so much easier to use this, of course, but I'm just trying to explain that it doesn't give me the best results for my hair type, because I have to pull a lot, because I have fine hair that doesn't like to hold a curl. I just feel like it's too much work, and my hair ends up looking so much better with the barrels. So that's what I'm explaining the most in this video, is that the barrels work the best for me. And honestly speaking, if you are going to buy this really expensive product, it should mainly be for the barrels, because otherwise you can find so much more cheaper things that are similar. Because of course, I'm not gonna lie, this is amazing. It really does dries your hair super super well. And I mean, I don't know if you have super curly hair, how well it would, you know, keep it super sleek. But if I use this in my already straight hair, it kind of looks like I kind of flat iron it, if you know what I mean. It looks super sleek, and it moves the hair flow depending of where you are moving the hair. You don't have to be like, oh my god, I'm actually, you know, making my hair frizzy like with the hair dryer, because you know, you have to go against the hair cuticle to close that and make it super pin straight and really smooth when you're using a normal hair dryer. So this is really smart in that department and super useful. And if you have maybe, I don't know, super curly hair, and you know, you use this a lot, maybe this will be the answer for you. But you know, I mainly wanted to talk about the barrels, which is what I use the most. The only difference that I actually felt, you know, I can do my hair with this in, it would depend at what stage of my hair I start with, so how much water my hair has. But let's say I'm 80% dry, I can do my hair in 15 minutes, even less with this. This would take a longer time for sure, but there are curls, they look amazing. I would have to normally spend like 2 hours doing my hair if I was going to do, you know, some, you know, curling iron kind of a deal, or if I was going to do some rollers. Yeah, that's the name. If I was going to do some rollers. So, you know, I find that these ones are my favorite ones to use. I do use these sometimes when I just want to be lazy and when I just want to get my hair quickly right. But for the most part, I always use these two. And I would say that for the price, you actually really want to make sure you are using this, because that's why this product is quite expensive, because you know, Dyson is a, you know, super good brand in making innovating products. So this is what is actually super new in them, and really cool and amazing on them, because they're literally making you super easy to have curl hair without the hair damage that normally comes with curl irons, and without having to have the technique of an actual hair stylist that knows how to curl your hair properly with a dryer. Because, you know, most people who, you know, are hairstylists know that you can pretty much do anything with a hair dryer if you have the proper brushes and the technique. But if you are not as good as an actual hairstylist, well, my dear, I would say that you are better off getting the Airwrap, because honestly, best thing ever. Hopefully this video makes sense to you once I edit this, because it seemed like, because it had a little bit of a long time for me, it had a little while since I actually filmed, like I have my thoughts all over the place. So hopefully this makes sense to you, and hopefully I can make at least a decent video out of this, because I have been talking for like a good hour or more. So hopefully I don't sound too redundant and I make sense. So as I mentioned before, if you're going to get this product, it's going to be worth it, mainly if you use the barrels and if you're going to use them quite frequently. Honestly speaking, this is the product you should be using frequently, otherwise it's going to be too expensive and not worth the trouble. So I think this is meant for you to use every single time you want to dry your hair, you know, every single time you wash your hair, as long as you are not air drying it, of course. But you know, depending where you live, that might not be a good thing, you know. Hair drying your hair in a place that is freezing cold might not be the smartest idea, if you know what I mean. And without anything more to say, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a good day. Bye.